Hi, this is Mr. Mulroy again. Now, what I'm about to show you here is what's called servicing tapered wheel bearings. This is a Astro van, rear-wheel drive, and we're dealing with the non-drive wheels here. And the tapered wheel bearings that are up front are serviceable, normal maintenance type of repairs that you would do to this vehicle, right? And what it aims to show you is probably in 3 parts because it's lengthy. It is kind of lengthy. The first part would be removing the wheel bearings. The second part would be removing the races from the rotor, cleaning the wheel bearings, and then the third part would be installing it, packing the wheel bearings, and also adjusting it, preloading the wheel bearings, the tapered wheel bearings, okay? So be patient and remember that everything is about these wheel bearings in here. This is, again, this is a rear-wheel drive van, okay? First thing we'll do, move the brake caliper. Pretty straightforward. If you ever done calipers before, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, if not, this particular vehicle, you have 1 pin there. Okay, you got another pin there. Then you're going to pull the caliper off. And what you want to do is you want to hang the caliper or rest the caliper so that it's not hanging by the brake hose, because you'll damage the brake hose. The brake shoes, here's the brake shoes, inspect the brake shoes. The brake pads, sorry, no, not just shoes, they're brake pads, right? They're brake pads. Okay? Inspect the brake pads. Hang the caliper up here. Now here's your rotor. Here's your rotor, right? You can hear a little bit of sand in there. The vehicle's been sitting out in the sand for a long time, so don't pay attention to that so much, as we'll be taking it apart. We're going to clean it all up anyway. All right. So now we have the rotor. We're after the tapered wheel bearings, and so we want to remove the dust cap. Number 1, you can get yourself a small screwdriver. You're not going to hit it very hard, okay? But this is like the only time that I recommend maybe using a screwdriver for like a chisel, right? Some sort of pointed object. This is the cap. Take the cap off, and then you happen to notice that there is a cotter pin here. Remove the cotter pin and throw it away. Okay? Pull it back. Okay? And then run it through here. Run it right through. There's a castellated nut. The cotter pin was holding the castellated nut from moving. Okay? Go ahead and remove the nut. We're going to clean that. Then there's a washer here, flat washer. Remove the flat washer, and when I banged a little bit on the rotor, you notice that the bearing popped out right here. The outer tapered wheel bearing popped out, right? So the outer bearing has the inner race here, but the outer race of the outer bearing is located in the rotor, and I'll show you that later. I'll show you how to get that out and put that back in. Okay, now we've got the rotor. We've got the rotor, and we got the inner bearing. This is what you can do. This is an old trick. You can put this castellated nut back a couple threads, 3/4 threads. Then kind of feel where the bearing is and give it a light pull. That will remove the bearing, and it also will remove the inner seal. Okay, so this is the inner tapered wheel bearing. That's the inner tapered, and that's the inner seal. Okay? We're going to clean that all up. Here's the rotor, right? There's the rotor. Matter of fact, here's the race. Here's one of the races. That's for the inner bearing. There's a race right there. Okay, so what we have here is a spindle, right? This is called the spindle. It's kind of dirty. It's got ABS. You can see it's got an ABS sensor on it. What you want to do is you want to clean the grease off. Clean it off really, really good. Okay? Because that's basically, to inspect it, you got to clean it off really good. As good as you can. Okay? No gluing at all, no chipping, nothing like that, no grooves, things like that, okay? Leave that here. Leave that all here for tomorrow. Okay? So here you have, all I'm after is the inner and outer wheel bearings. I remove the inner and outer wheel bearings. I remove the rotor, which I'm going to clean up. When we go inside, I'm going to show you how to remove the race. Like if you were to replace a bearing, how you're going to get the race off, how you're going to get the race out of the rotor, and how do you get the race back on the rotor. Okay?